Hey, Nick, you asleep or something? Hmm? I was generally prone to daydreams, but they didn't rule my life, remaining on some existential level. Otherwise, I would have long lost myself to alcohol or taken my own life. I wouldn't normally call you a people person, but today you're just pitiful to look at. Well, thank you for the concern. Is this about Catherine? Kyosuke sat on my desk. It creaked and even bent slightly. Man, you fat ass. You're trying to cause an earthquake. I pushed him aside and laughed. I see you're lively as always. Michael approached us. Well, I can't speak for Nick. Alright, let's go eat or something. I just wanted to distract myself from my gloomy thoughts for a bit. Today we didn't need to elbow our way through the cafeteria. Kyosuke knew every runaround, not to mention the chubby young man had a great relationship with all the women there. We were sitting in the middle of the hall like kings, which made my Japanese friend look especially funny. All of that slightly improved my mood. Did you watch the game yesterday? Michael asked, lazily poking the rice with a spoon. You bet. Of course, in the third inning. I never understood the Japanese obsession with baseball. Or rather, I couldn't understand the point of the game in the first place. It's pretty easy. Hit ball with a stick. There you go. Sure, it wasn't hard to remember the rules, but I was always more interested in the more traditional sports. Football, basketball, hockey. I'm like, okay. Like baseball, hit ball with stick. You don't understand that, but then it's like hockey, hit puck with stick. Like, what's the difference? I mean, I guess there's a goal in hockey, whereas like you're not hitting a baseball into a goal. But also, like, come on, hit thing with stick. It's like classic sport, all right? Basketball, like, oh, we dribble ball. Oh, like football, we kick the ball. Because I assume you're talking like European football. Like, oh, look, we kick ball. We kick the ball. Look at that. Oh, we kick it. Do you mean traditional as in the sense of like there's a goal? Like, football, like you got the goals with the goalie. Basketball, you got the hoops. Hockey, you also have goal with goalie. Whereas baseball, it's just hit ball into field, hope for the best. No, I could actually see where there's an argument there. But still, hit ball with stick. And here were Michael and Kyosuke, USA and Japan, perhaps the only two countries where baseball was popular at all. That is also true. So their conversation was starting to really bore me. Guys, give it a rest already. You can propose a different topic. Michael easily parried. What topics could I possibly have? My mood quickly returned to being as bad as it could. My recent agonizing thoughts overwhelmed me again. Nick, don't be like that. Kyosuke mumbled sympathetically. I agree. You need to keep thinking positively in any situation. I was morally exhausted, tired of all these thoughts, didn't have any strength left to get angry at them. Like you'd understand. Sometimes simple support is enough. Yes, Nick, we're your friends after all. Guys, it's not so simple. Nah, listen. If you can't talk to the homies about lady troubles, who can you talk to, my G? Bro. Talk to the homies. You having lady issues? Talk to the homies. Even if your homies themselves aren't, natural suave ladies, man, like, nah, they're the homies. Alright? Talk to the homies. It's a damn shame. Can't even confide in your homies nowadays. Actually, this ain't even nowadays. This is 87, which I guess there was... fuck, what do I know about the stigma of 87? I wasn't even alive. Psychologists say you can't keep everything inside. Kyosuke said didactically. I don't see any psychologists around here. Sometimes you can get it off your chest with someone you're close with. Yeah, like the homies. Talk to the homies. Michael looked as imperturbable, there we go, as ever. Of course, there was nothing strange in my friend's desire to help. We're going to get rid of the idea that they had goals of their own in mind. Who cares? Who cares what their ulterior motives is? At the end of the day, they're the homies. Talk to the homies. With Kyosuke, it was obvious. Curiosity. He was like a suckerfish, feeding on hearsay and rumors about the lives of others. He even had something like an information network in the school. I like to believe said network wouldn't start gossiping about my life as well. But although it was pretty simple with Kyosuke, Michael, on the other hand, He was diligently pretending to be interested in my situation, just because, but somehow I felt like that wasn't the case. Honestly, I've never gotten bad vibes from Michael. I really haven't. Maybe that'll change in one of these routes, but like, just because Michael's just keeps to himself, he has, very short responses on the quiet side, Mike always seems like he's just been a down homie. Like, I don't know why you're suspicious of Michael. Well, let's say you don't exactly know. It took me a bit to find the right words. The backstory. Maybe. He responded coldly. Well, tell you that. Not a big... It took just a short glance from me for Kyosuke to hush up. It's not a secret or anything, it's just... But really, what did I have to hide? Exactly! Just talk to your homies. Our past relationship with Catherine wasn't a secret. Our past relationship? Like, homie, I know you're Russian, but, in reality, many people in the school knew about it. And I was acting as if I wanted to preserve something sacred. Something only I, maybe also Katya, knew. It was stupid, but at that moment I couldn't act any other way. The unpleasant conversation somehow died out, and we finished the lunch in relative peace. The lessons dragged on at a painfully slow pace, but at long last the final bell rang. I was slowly packing the books when Himitsu materialized near my chair, as if having jumped out of transwarp.
Nika-kun, let's go home together?
She gave me a cute smile. As cute as always, and I'd say much cuter than in the past several days, hell yeah. I had nothing against going home, but I couldn't get over the fact that I never found out where Catherine had gone. What could I do? There seemed to be only two logical solutions, to go where she'd been living before, or to try to find her mother. On one hand, there was a certain chance they'd return to the same flat that he'd been using before. Why not? It was most probably an ambassadorial apartment. On the other hand, her mother was a relatively famous person, so in theory it'd be easy to find her. At the same time, the nasty voice of reason in my head was whispering that Catherine had only missed school for one day and that it was too early to panic.
Hey, hello, it's Nika-kun.
Yeah, sorry, I was daydreaming. Check Catherine's old apartment, try to find her mother, or just go home with Himitsu. Yeah, I'm just gonna go home with Himitsu. What are these options? This whole thing was weird. I'd waited for a year and a half and now couldn't endure a single day. Catherine could have dozens of reasons to skip class today. And most probably none of them were connected to me. Let's go. Himitsu looked somehow too content. I wanted to ask what happened, but couldn't bring myself to. As if following a habit, I was making up a believable lie, anything just to not tell her the truth. But what in the world did I have to fear now? After all, I decided not to fuss about Catherine. I probably just got too used to keeping my true feelings hidden from Himitsu in futile attempts to prevent myself from hurting her.
What are you thinking, Nika-kun?
Well, here I go again. Just school. There's barely any of it left. And then it's adulthood. I smiled to somewhat smooth out the seeming gravity of the topic.
Long overdue.
Well, it's more complicated for me compared to you.
Why is that?
You made your choice long ago. You want to teach Russian, but I don't know yet. For some reason, Himitsu blushed but kept looking at me, just as intently.
Better sooner than later. I have more time to get ready, too.
I'm not arguing with that, but that's all well and good when you know who you want to be. And to be honest, I don't want to become anyone.
Nika-kun.
I'll go work retail for minimum wage and drink myself silly in the evenings.
Nika-kun.
Fine, fine.
If I become a teacher, we could...
The end of the phrase lingered in the air.
I mean, you could.
What? Himitsu totally lost herself in the maze of her own unsaid words.
But you used to have dreams and aspirations before.
And when was that? I laughed.
Before.
She stomped her small foot as hard as she could and stopped.
A year and a half ago.
I don't recall.
Of course you don't.
She clearly meant when Catherine and I were still together. Who did I want to become at the time? The grief and pain seemed to have erased all other memories. No, I did of course remember how good it was to be together, the moments of joy and happiness, but at the same time I completely forgot the mundane everyday moments. As if that whole period of my life was fixated on her. Catherine, Catherine, Catherine. God, just quit saying the fucking name. Was I not eating, sleeping, going to school, talking to Himitsu then? I bit my lip in frustration.
There was only one thing you cared about back then. Pussy.
What?
You know what.
A standard woman's cop-out suddenly sounded extremely fitting. Himitsu, come on, don't start again.
Come on, what? Don't start what?
I guess I was so used to finishing her sentences in my head, I was reflexively attributing words she never said to her. I don't want to fight, especially not without a reason. That wasn't at all convincing, so I took an extreme measure. I'm here, now, with you. I'm not running after Catherine. It's time to put an end to our game of euphemisms.
Where else would you be?
Her reaction was unexpectedly calm.
You're your own worst enemy after all.
Oh, that's how you chose to put it. She smiled and walked on toward home. The hell was that? I don't know. Himitsu's got some issues, man. I thought Kagome was crazy. Nah, she's just very calculating. Himitsu, she's got some mental issues. All the heroines have mental issues, but Himitsu's like, there's some big issues there. Himitsu was sitting in my room doing her homework while I lay on the bed reading manga. It would seem like an absolutely normal sight if not for our conversation a couple hours prior. She was, however, acting as if nothing had happened. I felt uncomfortable to a degree, but decided not to get back to the topic, so as to not make things even worse.
Nika-kun, should I spell
Bluff or bluff? Well, that depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about bluff or bluff?
The sentence is
Bluff. And there should be an E. What are you writing?
an essay.
And the topic?
Religion and faith in Dostoevsky's novels The Brothers Karamazov.
Oh. I never even read this novel. Could I be envious of Himitsu? Our school had classes for most of the common languages of the world, but I'd rejected the idea of learning Russian as my second language since day one. I was fine as is, wasn't I? Turns out I wasn't. So, is it interesting?
Read it. You can find out for yourself.
Is it long?
Don't distract me. You've got your manga.
The comparison of Dostoevsky to manga stung me even harder. As you wish, milady. I jerked myself up and went to the kitchen. More than a minute later, Himitsu was yet to show up. Was I really upset with her because the entirety of her life didn't revolve around me? Whatever. Evening was drawing near. It was already time for dinner, and Himitsu still hadn't finished her essay. Annoyed, mostly with myself, I dug into the refrigerator, emerging with several eggs and vegetables. I could at least manage an omelet.
Not bad.
Himitsu had a bite and complimented my cooking. How's Fyodor Mikhailovich doing?
Well, he tackles matters more philosophical than scrambled eggs.
It's an omelet. I clarified and started to chew with double the speed. No, it wasn't envy at all. Rather, it was shame. Yes, I was ashamed of being, in fact, absolutely pathetic even compared to Himitsu. Why even? Did I really consider her just a piece of furniture? Oh god, don't talk about furniture. I've already read that story, man. Will you lend me the book?
Are you really interested?
She marveled. Well, it is Russian literature after all.
But there's no science fiction in it at all.
That's not funny.
I didn't want to upset you.
Himitsu uttered sadly. I'm not upset, but since when are you interested in things like this?
Well, it's...
I mean, I understand that you've been for a while, but it's not so heavily. This is philosophical literature you're reading already, and you're younger than me. I tried to talk calmly, but my voice sounded a tone higher than it should have.
But I'm not younger than you. I just went to school later.
Maybe, but still.
Nika-kun, is something wrong?
Everything's fine. Everything's just wonderful. First, Katya returns out of the blue, now I turn out to be the dumbest student in the school.
Caddy-chan.
That's where I realized I'd said too much in my fit of righteous anger. Catherine, it just came out like that. Himitsu put her chopsticks aside and stood up from the table.
Don't worry. It's okay. I'll go.
Himitsu, wait, you misunderstood.
Nika-kun, it's alright. I just thought that what you said earlier today. I'll go.
Her face expressed nothing, I just didn't know what else to do.
Till tomorrow.
She said, still coldly, and left. Looked like I really was the dumbest, whatever I said. It only made things worse. Meanwhile, the sky grew completely dark. Interesting. I had most probably lived through worse days, but today was, on top of it all, also completely meaningless. I managed to find Catherine, but did manage to get into a fight with Himitsu. How typical of me. If an idea gets into my head, I press forward with manic stubbornness, paying no attention to consequences or collateral damage. In the manga Kyosuke likes so much, heroes would rarely choose the path of least resistance. Contemptible is what some of them would say. Cowardliness is what others would add. But I'd say that everyone decides for themselves if the means justify the ends. Let's say I were to get Catherine to explain herself. Wouldn't that completely upset my relationship with Himitsu? And there was still the matter of the calls and the note. Was I really in danger? In any case, the moment my head was filled with something completely different. If nothing changes with Catherine, and Himitsu never forgives me, then please do kill me, is what I thought. But if I were to give up now, would that really be the end of it? I tried to put myself in Himitsu's place. That didn't seem plausible. How would it look from her point of view? Without finding anything out, he just forgets about Catherine and keeps living as if nothing happened. Although it seemed to me that Himitsu would be quite alright with this scenario. Well, perhaps she would now. But we're not 7 years old anymore. Something like this might fly once more, twice maybe, then she'd just go away, cry it out, and leave everything behind as just another childhood memory. I barely believed my own logic, but driven by a surge of fear, kept piling up every remotely plausible theory. I felt ashamed about Himitsu, but at the same time, couldn't keep Catherine out of my head. Yeah, why not? Here we go again. Oh, I can't keep Catherine out of my head. Why not? The fuck doesn't matter. But she came back. Who cares? Who cares? Straight up, homie. Who cares? She came back. What of it? Let it go, bro. Let it go. It's been 1.5 years. You didn't even bother to open the letter she sent you. What does that matter? Let it go, my G. Let it go, my dude. Just fucking let it go. Make like the frozen bitch and let it go. Alright? No, the other one. Like, come on, my guy. The fuck? I get so heated. I get so heated. Every time. I get so heated. Every time it's just like, oh man, yeah, no. I feel bad about this, but Catherine. I feel like this is gonna happen every route. Like with Kagome, it's like, yeah, Kagome's here, but like, what about Catherine? Or like, we'd be so invested in something going on in Kagome's route, like something to do with like the corporation with her father, the KGB, something. There'd be this big event happen, and then he'd always be like, but what about Catherine? It's like, motherfucker, who cares about Catherine? We got espionage and intrigue and Kagome, alright? And you're all over here like, but what about Catherine? Like, I don't give a shit. And now he's like, man, you know, I feel bad in regards to Himitsu. But what about Catherine? It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. What about Himitsu? I already know when I go down Ellie's route, it's gonna be, yeah, no, Ellie's great and all. What about Catherine? It's like, I can't wait to go down Catherine's route, just for him to be like, I mean, yeah, it's nice having Catherine around, but what about Catherine? No, watch. Hey, I'm gonna go down Catherine's route, and like every moment is him questioning. Is like, but do I really want Catherine? It's like, he's gonna go through the other 3 routes, right? Being like, I mean, this girl's great, but like, what about Catherine? But then you get to Catherine, it's like, do I really like Catherine though? It's like, no, you do. You do. You got a weird fucking obsession with her. It's written all over your face. You got problems, my guy. I always go on a fucking tangent like this. I always go on a rant every time like he mentions his little obsession with Catherine. I can't help it. It just pisses me off so much. Like, damn. How strong is her cooch game? It must be phenomenal. Like, what? Did she let you enter let you in through the rear entrance? Huh? Huh? What's going on here? Was the booty game too strong? Huh? She get kinky with it? Yo? You worried none of these Japanese bitches, they're gonna be too vanilla, huh? Cause like, I can't, honestly can't believe it's her personality. I know on several occasions he's mentioned like the Catherine that he knows now just doesn't seem like the same person as the Catherine he knew then, but like, I can't imagine her personality was that great. Like, I'm just saying, she, like, what's the throat game? Did she have that bomb throat game? Does she have a gag reflex? If not, like, is that what's going on here? Like, I can't imagine any other reason why this motherfucker would be so goddamn obsessed. Like, that pussy must have been life-altering. Like, I hate it. I hate this man's obsession with Catherine so goddamn much. It wears me the fuck out. Anyway, I've ranted for more than long enough. At least not completely. I was just tired. Oh, you're tired. Buddy boy. Buddy boy, my guy, my dude, my G, my homie. You're tired. With some sleep, these feelings would fade away. They won't. They won't. They won't, because I know the very next day, you're going to come back and say, hey, what about Catherine? I know that's what you're going to do. I know it. For a fact. I know that tomorrow, the sun's going to rise, you're going to wake up, and you're going to go, Catherine? You fucking Catherine addict. Only to come back tomorrow? Yep. Uh-huh. Exactly. And so the man was implying that that these feelings are going to go away while he's sleeping. No. You've already said before that you've had dreams about Catherine. This was brought up previously in Kagome's route. You even mentioned, like, oh yeah, I had a dream about Catherine the other night. So even when you're sleeping, no, the feelings don't fade away, do they? Believe me, I wish, like, you could go to sleep and I would get some reprieve from Catherine. God, I know I said it, like, just 10 minutes ago, but this route being so focused on Catherine is going to fucking break me. I know it is. I'm going to lose my fucking mind playing this route. Like, at least in Catherine's route, I'm going to be pursuing Catherine when I actually, play Catherine's route. But Himitsu's route, it's going to be so intertwined with Catherine that I'm going to be striving for Himitsu, but I'm just going to get nothing but Catherine. At least in Kagome's route, eventually, like, Catherine kind of fucks off and he doesn't really think about her for, like, several days at a time. Like 2 or 3 days will go by and he'll be like, oh yeah, Catherine. But like now it's just Catherine. What about Catherine? Losing my mind, guys. I'm losing my fucking shit. Remember how I said this route was gonna break me? I think it's already happened. I think I'm already losing it, guys. We've only dipped our toes into this route, and I'm already just like... oh, let's fucking go. No, I couldn't keep going on like this. Oh, but you can. Believe me, I don't want you to. I'm definitely not encouraging you to do it. But could you? Oh, yes, you could. I needed to find her and let her go. You don't need to find her to let her go. Honestly, dude, you don't need to find her. You can just say, you know what, I'm done. I get he wants closure. He wants to say, hey, now that you're back here, now that you've returned, what's the situation? What's the us situation? What's going on here? But guess what? You don't need that. If you want to let her go, you just say, you know what? I'm done. There's no reason to worry about it. I'm done. And you know what? Then I'd applaud you. I'd say, hey, way to go, my guy. That's the right fucking choice. But you see right at the end of that sentence, that little word there that says, or? Now see, that's where my problem lies. Is you say or. He's like, I need to find her, okay? And let her go. Alright, I'm about it. Or, no. No oars. No oars. We ain't paddling down a river. No oars, alright? At that moment, I didn't want to think any further. Fuck. I wish you would stop thinking too. Maybe I was afraid, but what the hell did it matter? The last car drove down the street, its tires creaking quietly, and my district sank into pre-dawn silence. Great. Phenomenal. Wonderful.